It was the Delhi Capitals who were hosting the Kolkata Knight Riders at the national capital, and like always in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the key highlights of the 48th game of the Indian Premier League. The two captains in Axar and Ajinkya Rahane were there at the centre for the toss. It was a very important game for the Kolkata Knight Riders if they wanted to stay alive in the race for the playoffs. And on the other end, the Delhi team, who had lost 3 out of the last 4 games that they had played, they really needed to win this game if they wanted to go on and utilize the advantage they had to begin with, that they had won so many games. It was very important to win today if they wanted to have a chance to finish in the top 2 slots as we get closer to the playoff race of this Indian Premier League. It was Axar who won the toss and he elected to bowl first, keeping in mind that the dew will play a very big role on this venue, particularly after whatever we saw against the Royal Challengers Bengaluru that Delhi played a couple of days back at the same venue. The two Kolkata openers in Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Sunil Narine came out to the centre, and they have been blowing hot and cold, but today Sunil Narine looked in really good touch. He, with Rahmanullah Gurbaz, made sure that the power play is utilised to the fullest. By the end of 2 overs, the Kolkata Knight Riders had already crossed the 40-run mark, and the power play score suggested that the Kolkata Knight Riders might just end up and score runs in excess of 200, maybe even 250. Looked like a possibility at this point. But then Rahmanullah Gurbaz was the first wicket to fall for the Kolkata Knight Riders. He returned to the pavilion, but then Ajinkya Rahane with Sunil Narine continued the tempo, continued to score those runs in the power play and wanted to utilize it to the fullest because they knew it's not going to be easy to score runs as soon as you come in the centre. If you spend some time, that's the only time when you can go and score runs on a wicket that was looking a little too paced and a little sluggish to begin with. Both of them played their shots, but then both had to return back to the pavilion, and Delhi, after an explosive power play by the Kolkata Knight Riders, slowly and gradually started to come in the game as soon as the spinners came into attack because the wicket was really gripping and turning. We saw that in the game that Delhi played against Mumbai at this venue and in the game against RCB as well. So the Kolkata Knight Riders were on the track to go and score 200 runs. But mind you, remember, I'll just remind you once more that on this wicket, 180, 170, 180 would have been an ideal par total, and Delhi would have wanted to restrict them under 100 and 180 if they wanted a real chance to win this game. But then the next pair in the centre was Angrish Raghuvanshi and Rinku Singh, because Venkatesh Iyer did come at number 5 today, a change in position for him. Angrish Raghuvanshi given a promotion ahead of the wonder boy in Venkatesh Iyer, who was sold at a whooping price during the mega auction. He was given a promotion in Angrish Raghuvanshi. He came out. He really exploited the spinners as well. He played the spinners tremendously well. It was a class batting by Angrish Raghuvanshi. And on the other end, Rinku Singh, who hasn't had the best of the IPL so far, was having a good day with the bat today in the centre. Both of them had to fall back, but the runs were not stopping for Kolkata Knight Riders. Despite the fact that wickets were coming in regular intervals, the Kolkata Knight Riders continued to score the runs, and they were still, even after 15-20 overs, on track to go and score runs, at least 200 runs, and put a massive total for the Delhi Capitals. Final touches were given by Andre Russell. Few wickets did fell at the fag end of the innings, but Kolkata Knight Riders, despite so many wickets falling, managed to put on 204 runs on the board. Key contribution by Angrish Raghuvanshi of 44 runs. 36 by Rinku Singh in the late middle order, and because of that, Kolkata had put a really stiff total for the Delhi Capitals to chase, and if they wanted to win and go up on the points table, they had to chase 205 in their allotted 200 in their allotted 20 overs, and it looked like on a 2-pace wicket that this just might be 20 runs over par. Abhishek Porel came. Abhishek Porel went back on just the second delivery. He tried to hit Anukul Roy in front for a 6, but unfortunately a tremendous catch was taken on the long off region. The fielder was on the mid off region. He had to run back a bit, and a tremendous catch was taken by him. And Abhishek Porel was the first wicket to fall for the Delhi Capitals. Faf Du Plessis on the other end, who did not have a great comeback last time around when he came back from an injury, today started off on a high. He knew that the target was really steep, and if they wanted to go after that, they needed to have a good start. And Faf tried his level best to go on and really go after that total. But unfortunately, wickets continued to fall for the Delhi Capitals. Karun Nair had to get out. He got out for a runner ball, 11 runs. KL Rahul was unlucky. He got out, and suddenly the Delhi Capitals were 3 wickets down, and there was nobody really in form batter present now, because KL Rahul, the man in form who's been by far the best batter for the Delhi Capitals in this season, had to return back as well because of an unfortunate mix-up he had with Faf Du Plessis in the centre. But then Axar Patel and Faf Du Plessis started to get Delhi Capitals back in the game. They really first built the innings, got the Delhi Capitals back, then started to attack the Kolkata Knight Riders bowlers, and it looked like that the Delhi Capitals are well ahead in this game, because the required run rate now had come under 10. It was somewhere between 9 and in the late 9s, and because of that, the Delhi Capitals had now suddenly become favourites in this game. And that's the beauty of T20 cricket, that's how quickly and swiftly things really change. Within a span of the first 5 overs, Delhi were 3 down. In the next 5 overs, Delhi suddenly were ahead in the game because of the blitz that Axar Patel gave in the centre. Despite an injury, he came out for the team and batted really well. Faf got to his half century as well, and now it started to look like a reality that maybe Delhi might just become the second team on the points table to go and register 14 points. But then all good things do come to an end. Axar Patel had to return back to the pavilion. He had to fall, and within no time, the next man in form for Delhi Capitals, Tristan Stubbs, too got out on the very second delivery by none other than the mystery spinner, the man who has a golden arm in Sunil Narine. He really bamboozled Tristan Stubbs, and he was all ends up. Tristan Stubbs had no clue where that ball came. It went between his bat and pad, and Tristan Stubbs had to return back to the pavilion. And suddenly, this game, with full of ebbs and flows, the pendulum has swung again in favour of the Kolkata Knight Riders. From this point, there was no looking back for the Kolkata Knight Riders team. They continued to pick wickets, but then Ashutosh Sharma and Vipraj Nigam, the two wonder boys of Delhi, who pulled off that magnificent victory against LSG in the first game of the season for DC. Both of them were there at the centre. They hit a couple of fours, but then Ashutosh Sharma continued to get out. He got another time, he was not able to finish. Mitchell Stark came. He tried to hit the spinners over for long hits. He too returned back to the pavilion, and suddenly Delhi were out of this game. Some little hopes were given by Vipraj Nigam in the last over, but the runs were so much to chase that the Delhi Capitals were definitely going to struggle. Despite late blitz by Vipraj Nigam, unfortunately the match was so far away that he had no other option but to go after the bowlers, and in that attempt he got bowled out in the final over against Andrew Russell, and this was the final seal on the envelope that Kolkata Knight Riders was still alive in the race of the Indian Premier League. These were the winning moments for the KKR side. The man in form, the man of the moment in Sunil Narine, the star player for the Kolkata Knight Riders, 27 quick-fire runs with the bat, couple of wickets with the ball, definitely playing a game-changing role both with the bat and with the ball. This is how the Delhi scorecard looked like. 14 runs is what Delhi fell short of. 62 by Faf for 45 deliveries. 38 of 19 by Vipraj Nigam. No big contribution apart from him. Axar Patel definitely 43 of 23 that kept Delhi in the game at the midpoint of the second innings. This is how the points table looks like. Now, Delhi Capitals suddenly find themselves on the 4th position, where at a point they were looking like maybe sealing a spot in the top 2. Now they've suddenly fallen to number 4. Despite losing 3 out of the last 4 games that they have played, they still managed to be in the top 4. That's because of the early start and the early advantage that they got of winning so many games on the trot. They hadn't lost 4 games if memory serves me right on a trot to begin this season. So that was an advantage that the Delhi Capitals had, and because of that they still need to win 2 out of the next 4 games that they if they want a realistic chance. But on the other end, the Kolkata Knight Riders need to win all 4 encounters. With those 4 encounters, they might just reach at 17 points, and they will then definitely make the cut for the playoff as well. It's going to get really interesting, because now the teams who were there in the middle table muddle have started to make a resurgence in this Indian Premier League, and teams on the top. Yesterday we saw GT losing the game, and today Delhi Capitals. It started to become really interesting, because at a point it looked like the top 4 teams had a clear advantage, but suddenly as we are getting closer to the business end of the tournament, things have started to become really interesting. What are your thoughts on this? You can let me know about that in the comment section below. But for now, that is all that I've got for you. I hope you're liking our coverage here on Sports Today of the Indian Premier League. If you haven't subscribed to us till now, do not forget to press the subscribe button, like this video, share it with your friends, and press the bell icon so that as soon as we are live or there's any interesting content coming your way, you guys come to know first.